That switch up be real though. Hi, Jazzy Rena Speaks here. So I'm talking to y'all about the switch up that be real. From people being one way and then changing their perspectives later on to people being a certain way the whole time, but just disguising or masquerading as something else. So from learning and growing and improving to people being fake as hell. That switch up. Be real. Okay? So I told you all I come from a Christian background. I no longer practice Christianity. Do what you want with that information if it concerns you. It does not. But people are stalkers, especially former church members or whatever. So put it up your pipe, smoke it, whatever, shove it up your ass. I don't care. I still reference the Bible for things, and I also practice other, I don't want to say religions, because I don't practice Orthodox religion. However, I definitely do things that are forbidden. Yeah, yeah. All right. So here I have a Bible. This is my mother's Bible. God rest her soul. She loved the color pink. I also love the color pink. Green is my favorite color, but pink is also like a second favorite color of mine. But I like all the colors, obviously. Obviously. So, yeah. And then I also have a book, Modern Witchcraft for Dummies. Ooh. So whoever's stalking my page or whatever, what you gonna do? Go tell the pastor on me? I don't answer to no authority figure. Fuck. You don't pay my bills. And even if you did, but a lot of churches and organized religion is about control. It's about control. You can't wear makeup. You can't color your hair. You can't do this. You can't do that. Women can't wear pants. Blah, 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 blah. So much control. Where did that get me? Nowhere. So, even in your own Bible, Christians, it says people perish for lack of knowledge. And so a lot of people are just so into their heads are in the clouds that they don't read. They don't read a goddamn thing. So they don't read nothing else. And they don't even read their own Bible. And so I say all that to say, if you want to hide something from somebody, hide it in a book. They're not going to read. So, and I love that I'm so, I love my dichotomy. I love dichotomy. If you don't know what it means, look it up. The opposite ends, both perspectives. I can be holy and be sexy. I can be peaceful and I'll knock your motherfucking head off. You know what I'm saying? If you cross me. You better look both ways before you cross me, like the Jacksons said, okay? Anyways, it's so funny because when people don't understand something, they try to place it in a box. They have to, people's finite minds have to place things in boxes or in categories. They can't define who I am or what I am, right? And so that's why I understand the trans community a lot. Even though, yeah, I find allyship in them a lot because, put them in a box. You can't put them in a box. And I know as a former Christian, when I was in that chaos religion, they said we can't associate with people. But then they also said if you're a Baptist, you can't associate with a Pentecostal. And if you're a Lutheran, you can't associate with a Catholic. Oh, my goodness. It's too much. So when people can't box you in, they'll try to find somewhere to put you. I forgot the name of the movie. It was a movie. I don't know if it was Divergent or Insurgent. I don't know. It was like a series of movies where they had 5 factions, and factions are sections and of people, categories. Whether you were, I don't even remember the names of the categories, but it was like labels. Like some were very ultra conservative, some were super risky and liberal, some were in between, some were this and that, some were techno geeks, and it was only 5. limited to fucking 5 categories of people you could be for your entire existence. And that's insane to me, because the people who didn't fit in those 5 sections, factions, they were outcasts. So they were the homeless people in society. And it's like, because they were called factionless. Look the movie up. I don't know. I make a lot of references, but anyways, my point is, my life has improved since I've started to think for myself. I can't think for groupthink. And if you're thinking that, oh no, she's gonna go to hell, whatever. What if I don't believe in that? Fear mongering is such a good way to control people, and I was in that for a long time, trying to be an outstanding citizen of society, trying to follow the rules, goody goody two shoes, don't smoke, don't drink, don't do this, don't do that. If it's not illegal, who is it hurting? You? Nah, if I'm not hurting you, then leave me the fuck alone. It's so crazy. They used to say, we don't do that kind of thing. We don't drink. Only reason I'm not drinking as much is because alcohol has a lot of calories and carbohydrates, and I'm trying to lose weight and things like that. Otherwise, best believe I'm going to party. I'm going to do what I want to do. I can't believe I spent my 20s being locked up and confined, trying to be modest. Modest is hottest. You're just trying to control me. For what reason, right? You don't even know me. You don't pay no bills. You don't contribute to my household. Just like that recent experiment with that lady going around to churches, trying to get baby formula or whatever, and the churches didn't help her, but the Satanist helped, or the Satanist temple was passing out food when Christians were celebrating the government shutdown. Ain't no hate like Christian love. Don't play me. I've been in it my whole life. I'm not in it no more, but yeah. And anyways, back to the switch up being real. Things that I used to say, I don't say them as much or anymore, or I may not believe the same way. I used to believe that there was only one way to peace and self-actualization. Jesus is the only way. Yeah, anyways, I believe there are many ways. I was trying to find a quote in this book, but it's a lot of things. They always say that the occult and estrocentrism is evil, and anything outside of what they're preaching at you is evil, but I don't think so. And it's crazy because when I was in the church, I was mistreated, so the church wasn't even a safe haven. So whatever, call me a witch, call me a goddess, call me all of it. And this realm, this 3D realm, is called a witch. In the upper realms, you're a goddess. We alchemize, we do things. I definitely believe in alchemy, transmuting things, and everything is chemistry and alchemy. For example, you have a potato. What do you do with that potato? You can transform it from a potato to French fries, to potato chips, to a baked potato, to mashed potatoes. You're alchemizing that, and you're changing it, transmuting it into something else. The only thing that Christians want you to alchemize is your tithes to the pastor's pockets. You ain't building the kingdom. You ain't building the church. I remember calling out some hypocrisy when I was a teenager. We used to have something called THO, Teens Helping Others. But when we collected money, I called them out on it. I said, I'm sorry, how are we helping people by having a pizza party every Thursday? And they were like, I don't know what you're talking about, Whitney. I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. I said, we're not helping others. We're helping ourselves. We raise all this money just to have a pizza party. I could eat pizza at the crib. I wanted to go outreach. I wanted to save the world. I wanted to do a lot of things, but I'm not on that no more. Like I said, if people choose to follow along, great. I'll be starting my practice soon for others. I practice for myself. I do my candle work, my shadow work, my tarot cards. I do my stuff. I'm learning more about the craft, but when I start actually practicing and taking clients, it's going to be on and popping. I'm just saying. But anyways, dissect that, because I know y'all just gonna spread it amongst the masses, those who be watching